agents. I'm so glad you're here. So let's get started. Let's see what our first clue is for today. Matthew 28, verse 19. Hope you've got your Bibles ready. Let's go find it. So Matthew is the first book in the New Testament. Matthew. Now, chapter 28. So we're looking for the big number 28. I found it. Verse 19. So that's the little number 19. There we go. I found it. Go and make disciples of all nations. Wow, that seems like a really big mission. If we need to go to all the nations to make disciples of them, I think we're going to need a very special agent. So, I've got 4 agent profiles here. Let's see who the best agent is.
I fell asleep when Jesus asked me to pray, but I love God and I love His children.
The first agent fell asleep when Jesus asked him to pray? Oh, man, let's see what the second agent has on his profile.
I ran away when Jesus got arrested, but I love God and His children.
What? He ran away when Jesus got arrested? I don't know about you guys, but these agents aren't looking great. Let's see if there's someone better. Let's see what Agent 3 said.
I didn't trust Jesus when there was a big storm, but I love God and I love His children.
He didn't trust Jesus when there was a big storm? Seriously? Could they not have sent us better agents? Let's see the last agent.
I argue with my brother about which one of us would sit next to Jesus in heaven one day, but I love God and His children.
Ah, he argued with his brother. They really are sending us the best, aren't they? But hang on, these agents wouldn't be here if they weren't qualified. I wonder, maybe they all had something in common. Let's double check.
I love God and His children.
Yes, they all loved God and they love His children. And that's what makes them qualified. You see, even when we make mistakes and when we don't always get things right, God still wants to use us. He still wants us to go on His very important mission and make disciples of all nations. Hi.
What? They could all be chosen to do God's work? Huh. I'm gonna go check with Agent Cindy. Agent Cindy! Agent Cindy!
Hi, Andy.
I have a very important question for you.
What's that?
Well, I overheard Misha saying something about the disciples and they did stuff wrong, and then Jesus still wanted to use them.
Well,
I don't
that's
buy it.
right. Jesus still used the disciples even though they messed up. He even uses us even though we mess up.
He did? He does?
Yes.
What?
Would you like me to tell you a story from the Bible about one of the disciples and how he messed up?
Yes, yes, yes. I love stories from the Bible. The Bible is true.
That's right. And so let's learn about a man named Peter.
Okay.
Peter was a fisherman who was called by Jesus to be one of his disciples. He saw the many miracles that Jesus did and heard the things that Jesus taught about.
Was Peter there when Jesus walked on water and when he fed the 5,000 people with that little bitty boy lunch?
Yes, he was. Do you think that Jesus can use a fisherman?
Well, maybe. Did Peter know Jesus really well?
Well, let's keep on with the story and find out. Okay. One day, Jesus told his disciples that it was time for him to die, to take away the sins of the world. Peter was so sad and told Jesus that he was ready to die for him.
Peter? He wanted to die for Jesus?
Well, that's what Peter said.
Ooh.
Do you think someone that is willing to die for Jesus can be used by him?
Yeah, for sure. That's like real commitment. Commitment.
Commitment?
Commitment, that's the word.
Yes, Peter did show commitment. And let's read what happened next.
Okay.
Jesus told Peter that he would deny even knowing Jesus 3 times.
Oh no! And you know, when Jesus says something's gonna happen, you better believe it's gonna happen.
That's right, Jesus always speaks the truth, and we can trust when he says something's going to happen, it will. Not long after that, Peter was asked 3 times by 3 different people if he knew Jesus. And just like Jesus had said, Peter denied even knowing Jesus 3 times. Do you think somebody that can mess up like that and even deny knowing Jesus can be used by him?
No. I'm sorry, Peter. Access denied.
Well, actually, that's not what happened.
It's not?
No?
Well, then what happened? Tell me.
Okay, let's continue with the story. After Jesus was raised from the dead, Peter and the disciples went fishing. They hadn't caught any fish the whole day until a man on the beach told them to cast their nets over the other side of the boat. Then they caught so many fish.
Hang on. Didn't Jesus do a miracle like that before?
You're right, Andy. That's true. Jesus had done a miracle like that. And the stranger on the beach was actually Jesus.
Wow.
When Peter saw that it was Jesus, he jumped into the water and swam to him. Jesus made a meal for his friends and invited them to come share it with him. And then he took some time to talk to Peter.
Uh-oh. Peter is in trouble.
Well, you'd think so. But instead, Jesus asked Peter, Peter, do you love me? And he asked 3 times. And every time, Peter answered, of course I love you, Jesus.
Wait, hang on. 3 times? But Peter denied knowing Jesus 3 times.
Well done, Andy, you're right. And each and every time, Jesus said to Peter, Peter, I want you to take care and feed my sheep.
Sheep? Like ba sheep? But Peter was a fisherman, not a shepherd.
No, not real sheep, silly Billy. Jesus was talking about the people, the church. Jesus wanted Peter to tell others about who Jesus is so they could love him too.
So Jesus chose to use Peter, even though he messed up.
That's right. And even though we mess up, Jesus has chosen us too to do his work and to be his agents. Now, of course, Jesus doesn't like it when we sin. And our sin, in fact, separates us from God. But Jesus made a way for us to be forgiven. And so when we come to Jesus and we say sorry for the things we've done, he forgives and takes away all those things, and we can still be used by him. Isn't that great?
Wow. I love that Jesus forgives me and he wants to use me to be his agent. Agents, access is granted.
Yeah.
I am your commanding officer. Their previous mission was flawless. HQ? Agents in the field have your next mission.
Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to...
Tô a fazer pão.
Come back on that?
Zrup kanapka.
Dienza isonka.
Wciakse ena sandwich.
Please repeat.
Quero fazer uma sana.
Ni entashikwa.
We're experiencing some technical feedback. Do we have the right channels?
Ngenza isinkwa.
Diaboroto.
Agents, are you getting this?
Maak het toe broodjie. Maak het toe broodjie.
Agents, the message doesn't seem to be coming through. What is today's mission?
Make a sandwich.
10-4. These agents were communicating to our outer regions in different languages. Very good.
So let's do it. We're going to give our sandwich to someone who needs it, but before we do, let's write them a note telling them about Jesus. Once you're done your note, put it in a sandwich and send it off to the people you think need it.
In the mission field, we often come across hungry people. I will put together a sandwich with a note that Jesus loves them. Time for all boots on the ground. Go, go, go! Remember to report back to HQ.
This message will self-destruct in 3, 2, 1.